better. Traffic Jam fan, you know it. I'm from the middle of the map. I get around, I've been there and back. Born in Gary, Indian, just to be exact. Got family in the go and family in the nap. Same shit everywhere, saw it in the A out on Old Nat. Sucker free suckers can't take the heat, nah they gon' rap. Big dumb cats, big guns clap. Another brother dead, another mother son lack. I'm from the era where the niggas did scrap. Seen the same person shot, two different strokes. You don't want this, now you don't want that. Tired of fuck shit, wanna take a nap. I'm a dog on these chicks, just a different cat. Must make at least a M to make an impact. May just paint the Benz matte black, fresh head to toe. Never wore socks that didn't match. Cause I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Nigga, I get around. I've been there and back. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I get around. I've been there and back. Check, I'm from the middle of the map. I get around. I've been there and back. Born in Gary, Indian, just to be exact. Got family in the go and family in the nap. Talking money, shit hit my jack. If it don't make sense, shit I can sense that. Blowing big loud, never the mid pack. See you talk the talk, that's just big cap. Nigga, I walk the walk with graduation hats. Fuck your opinion, nigga, in fact. You fuck my bitch, shit, I tip my hat. Now she dead to me, can't bring her back. Play the game, play the field, never been set. Bulls game, flow seats just like my Benz mats. Blood to my lips, gun on my hip, her project pack. Act not my cup of tea, rather sip some yak. Cause I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Look, I get around, I've been there and back. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. Yeah, I'm from the middle of the map. Look, I get around, I've been there and back. I'm from the middle of the map. We ride big Chevys, big Cadillacs. I'm from the middle of the map. I'm from the middle of the map. We shaking up, don't give too much that. No.
We out west with it, where we live illegal, leaning off a leader, riding regal, tipping scales like Libras. Inhale, no L's, pulling out blocks like Jenga. In the rear of a Caprices, Billy Rams, flicking decent nonetheless. Nothing less than tens for the speakers. You'll hear us before you see us with beats that beat the streets up. Yeah. So try and keep up and keep it low key, cuz police try and treat us and keep us on a leash, cuz that's how they see us, thinking we nuts. Cuz we'll die for the ground beneath us, because this land made us. This land made of players that stay on paper. That's how we came up amongst the mayhem to the day when we display what we made of. The game can never change us, the West Side teaches. On these streets where you find that D before G. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just gotta been a plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Smell the grind in the air, take a whiff. Only the nose knows the aroma. Compose the money rolls that fold up, holding cold cups. Searching for those that got the purple O's for the $4. And we can go nuts and stay at the stove like grocers. And post up with O's on the table like coasters. That's how the game coached us, made us all in the soldiers. Now that dough is the focus, so know that we own this. Molded by the hood role models, riding good, the latest model, drinking good, raising bottles like we just missed a pothole. You got to know that it's impossible to stop our flow. We've seen it all from watching cops reload, 30s a dro, while drinking the night away until the block got slow. You'll know as soon as you see us, we the ones laid back in the cut. My demeanor seems to always get me up. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it. You just got a bit of plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it. I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it. Yes, sir, hustle for every penny in the trenches. But we turn struggle into strength. Yeah, home of the survivor, survival of the fittest in the town. It's wicked, you can J down. In a minute, what am? What's the business? This how you down and get it. From Cape Town, the fifth city, the sounds of fifths empty. When we tipsy, it's risky. Where the lick be, at least 10 deep, it tempts me. But there's no mystery where the chips be, the tips G. Just from the 60s, pimpin' ain't easy, but we bleed it. This here game is in our veins, in the air we breathe in. Believe this, it's no game, but the key is your mouthpiece, spit your game. But believe, turn nothing into something. We suffer without supper long enough. Struggling from summer to summer, the same place where the dope is sold. It's home to the Oprah show, the same place I know is home. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it. You just got up in a plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it. I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on,
that's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from inside the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Werner, who is enjoying a delicious, beautiful looking fruit salad that I
ain't got no forks in that. You know, we doing how we do in the hood.
We rolling. This is I Said What I Said. Thank y'all so very, very much for tuning in. Each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We get together right here with you all, and we discuss issues that are currently impacting the black community. We discuss how those issues impact us as individuals, but also how they impact us as a collective, and along with your help, we talk through many of these issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank you all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible while we go through the show. We would kindly request that you please take a quick second to share the broadcast. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network with anyone that you think would add value to this conversation or find value in this particular conversation. We believe that the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of it, the better the opportunities we have of reaching those aforementioned solutions. So please, 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 if you would be so kind, take a quick second to share the broadcast. Again, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest on Malcolm X's birthday. My name is Herb. His name is Two. What's happening, good brother?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored family. Salute to the King, Malcolm. I'm glad you said that. You know, none of my heroes never appeared on no stamps. So we had to give.
Is that a shot?
Honor to
I saw the post.
Yeah.
Honor to the King for sure, and a jab.
Just the truth.
Okay.
Call it what you want. Just the truth. But yeah, salute to the brother Malcolm, man.
Man, we can't say it enough, man. Can't echo it any louder. Salute to him, man, for standing in his proper polarity as a black man in this country at any time, but especially at the time in which he did. It would have been very, very easy for him to make a lot of decisions, right? And he continued to make the ones that were aligned with his value set over and over again, ultimately until the point where he's assassinated. And so thank you for all of your contributions. Thank you for the very fact that we get to be here and do what we do. And certainly you have greatly influenced both of us to be the type of black men that we are. So we'll continue to talk about them throughout the day and make some parallels to other motherfuckers.
Man, on that note, I sent you a text yesterday because I wanted you to try to check out this podcast that I ran up on by accident.
Right.
And the podcast is called The Art of Power. And it's a podcast that's created by NPR, National Public Radio.
Right.
And the reason I listen to NPR a lot, and they was talking about the podcast, and they was talking about an issue they had done with Obama. And the title of that specific podcast was called Barack Obama Redefines What It Means to Be a Man.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I thought that was such an interesting title. It was like the greatest clickbait ever made for somebody like me. Like, I had to go and listen to this podcast.
You had me at Obama said real
You
man.
had me at Obama redefining masculinity. The fuck? Okay, let me check this shit out.
I'll take the bait.
I'll take the bait. I took the bait. You know what I mean? And it's coincidental that today's Malcolm's birthday. And historically, Malcolm has kind of been like the pinnacle, at least in my mind, of what black masculinity is supposed to look like.
Agreed.
You know, in recent months, more than anything, there's been like a plethora of movies that have come out, and they've kind of depicted Malcolm in certain ways. You know, maybe a year or two ago, there was this campaign to kind of smear Malcolm. They depicted him as like a cross-dresser in his private life. You know, who knows what any of that shit is true.
Right.
But from the historical reference point that I have, he's the definitive of what black masculinity looks like. So I went back and looked at this or listened to this Obama shit. And
why would you even want to do, like, not only why would you want to do that? I mean, why would you even want to be like, to try and disparage him through some personal private shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, true or not, I don't know, don't really care. Point is, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to try to use that to, like, why would you try to use something like that to disparage a person like that?
yeah, but this is even a conversation between me and you, though.
Especially now when it's like you can go on websites. On a website today, clothes shopping, and it was just like gender neutral clothing and
all these ambiguous.
Yeah,
men.
you could all this kind of shit like that.
Yeah, but even early on, you know, me and you used to have conversations about gender and sexuality and shit, and you had one perspective, or thought I had one perspective, and it's a nuanced conversation for me. You know, again, just because I was going to say this, I can't remember the boy's name. I can't never remember this guy's name. The black author, genius of a man. Gay as all get out.
Oh, James Baldwin.
James Baldwin. I forget James Baldwin's name every time I try to bring it up.
I know.
You know what I mean? But Baldwin also one of my heroes. So I'm not, you know, the choice of sexuality don't move me. It's really just standing in your polarity.
Yeah, because he was as masculine as they come.
He's masculine as they come. But either way, I go to this Obama shit. And what was striking about the conversation wasn't nothing Obama said. Obama played it very politically correct. He didn't really have no opinion, if you ask me. Not too much of an opinion.
He's the central. He's a
centrist.
He's a centrist.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what I mean? And if he did have an opinion, it was kind of based in, you know, social norms and how structures of societies are changing. It wasn't nothing that was like, ooh, Obama said that. It was nothing in the whole
He
conversation.
passionately and brilliantly says nothing.
Nothing.
Okay,
But it's brilliant, though.
oh, it's passionate and it's brilliant, and he doesn't take a stance on shit.
It's an amazing strategy. I wish I could do it. I
Oh.
swear to God, I wish I could. Because I could see how I could elevate you socially in any platform you want to be elevated.
phenomenal.
in. He's phenomenal with
I
it.
done walked away and nobody's pissed.
Yeah, I didn't say nothing to nobody.
Right, everybody think I'm on their team right now.
Everybody think I'm on their team. That shit is brilliant. Shit. That's some brilliant shit. You know what I mean? But the interviewer starts the conversation off. She was like, you know, we had Barack Obama here today, and she's going through her little, you know, introduction. And she was like, and he's easily the very definitive of what alpha manhood looks like.
That's interesting.
And I was like,
Easily.
whoa.
Okay.
Word?
I mean, he's a husband and a father, I suppose. I guess that counts.
Yeah. But his perspective is amazing. You know, and it dove into the question of what is masculinity in the first place? What is manhood in the first place? And that's a question that I think deserves some time. You know, I think it deserves some real analyzing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to say I have a definitive on the answer, I'd be lying. But the most viable answer the two most viable answers in my opinion is the one of, you know, a man is to master the environment that he inherits.
Sure.
That's the one definitive. And the other one is the I'm sorry, man. I forgot to turn this off. But the other one is the most fundamental question in masculinity is, can you whoop my ass, though? Mm-hmm. Them are the two most definitive, in my opinion.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And to hear this conversation and her, started off with like, he is the alpha of the alphas.
Really?
When I relate it back to those two defining statements, I don't get none of that energy from him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And even in his centrist way, he did say something that I thought was kind of dope. And he talked about, this feminist kind of movement over the last, 20-something plus years. Mm-hmm. And he said it's been this concentration on focusing in on women and teaching girls that they can do anything they want to do. Mm-hmm. You can be anything you want to be. You can be a tomboy and that's fine. You can be feminine and that's fine. You can be all of these things and it's fine.
Sure.
And he related it to, gender kind of identity, femininity and masculine. You can be gender, you can be a tomboy, or you can be feminine. You know what I mean? And girls kind of get this reinforcement of you can do whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. And he said, and it's interesting enough that boys don't really get that.
No.
And it's kind of like we said, like you kind of get, you go unseen as a man. Mm-hmm. And there's this idea that circulates that men already are rooted in this idea of you can do and have and be. Mm-hmm. But when you think about it, when you start to promote certain identities, certain messages per se, not identities, but certain messages, mm-hmm. without the promotion of the other messages, what happens to it? Or is it real in the first place? And if you're a black boy, do you ever feel like I can be?
No, I think that you are kind of like predetermined to be a certain thing, right? Your responsibilities, your roles are predetermined for you before you even reach manhood, right? And I think that also a part of that, right? Obviously, we often talk about the attack on black men from a social construct and a political point of view. But also I think that when you talk about things like, people saying that Malcolm X said, the black woman is the most unprotected, group on earth, right? And you often say at that time that may have been true, right? Mm-hmm. I think that sometimes you tend to see a bit of overcompensation isn't the right word because there's nothing wrong with, making women feel protected and free to be. But what can happen with that sometimes, you see something weird? You're scaring the hell out of me.
I can't get balanced in this screen. I don't know how to get there.
Okay, I'll do it. It's cool. You can stay right there. I got you. But what can happen is that sometimes you can get to a space where you become so worried about one particular group and trying to make sure that they feel free to just be, that the other group is kind of just like left out, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like having two kids and one of them is a head case, right? Mm-hmm. And so you
like
spend
my house.
you spend so much attention, with this kid, right? Trying to keep their ass from tripping and falling
acting
or going
crazy.
to jail or fucking up in school, whatever. That the other child's like, yo,
just kind of gets forgot about.
Just because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I don't get no love. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that can kind of happen. I think that those two things combined have led us to a space now where black boys are very, very limited in their prospects, and then they are extremely inhibited in their pursuit of whatever their ideal version of themselves is.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
And I got to stop calling my son a head case. Salute to my son, man. He's really impressed me this last month. First of all, they played last week, and he was talking cash shit like he was Jesus H. Christ himself on the court. And I respect that.
Yes.
I was like, that's dope. But other than that, though, we was talking, and
Kind of talk shit.
He doing 2-a-day practices at school now.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get up and out the house by 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you said that one day. I was like, wait, what? I wasn't thinking about the before school workouts. I forgot about those things. Long time ago.
And he's still doing AAU, so it's like all day long now. Because it's really AAU season is just starting to get ramped up because COVID's kind of ending and shit. We can hoop, let's go hoop. Mm-hmm. So this is all day long now. I'm doing this and taking them in the morning, going to work, then taking them at night to do AAU. Mm-hmm. And the day I didn't feel like doing that shit. I was tired. And I looked at him, I was like, man, I know you got to be tired. He was like, I am. He's like, man, it's getting up at 3 in the morning. I said, get up at 3 in the morning. You ain't got to get up at 3 in the morning. He said, I got up at 3 in the morning the other day. I said, well, then that's on you. You stupid.
Right.
Just father-son conversation.
Uh-huh.
He was like, no, I got up at 3 a.m. to do my homework because I had some other homework I didn't get done.
Okay.
I said, you
Okay, E. Diddy, I see you.
Hold on, what you really saying again? You did that?
Yeah.
He was like, Dad, I'm focused, G. He was like, he showed me his grades. He got all A's right now. I said, who is this child?
Who are you?
Who stole my son? You know, but no, salute to
Some
him.
girl told him she likes smart kids.
Hey, whatever works, G. Whatever works.
I'm a sapiosexual.
Hey, whatever works. Talk that talk.
Whatever.
Read
You
the
feel
book.
me? Sapiosexual.
So I'm impressed with him, man.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with him. I told him I'm impressed with him. So I gotta stop calling him the retarded child.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll speak more life into Eric as he continues to improve his self. Professionally, scholastically, I should say.
Fully impressed.
That's what's up. Shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
He was saying dumb shit to me the other day, though.
He do. That's what he do.
God, he was saying so much dumb shit to
He
me.
likes being in the dumb polarity. He thinks
God.
he thinks it's funny.
I'm like, bro, what are you talking about right now? So you trying to tell me? Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Now, can you please shut up? Yes. Speaking of people trying to tell you things, shout out to Ron Rilla. He's in the production studio. Ron,
First
how
of all,
are you?
stop
sir?
it right now.
Okay.
That is not Ron Rilla. We have been graced by a celebrity presence. That is Tommy Buns from the movie Batman. The nigga's name is Tommy Buns from here on out. Tommy Buns, TV.
Do not be following Tommy. You cannot trust him. You know that.
You know that.
T-Boz was the worst actress in the history of people.
Not worse than
reading
Nas. Not worse.
Not worse than Nas?
Let's go to Africa. Also, one of my favorite movies of all time, though.
Also one of the favorite movies of all time, for sure. Hey, man, I'm outside. You said the morning, man, the morning. Yeah, I know I said that, but fuck that. Let's go. Man, fuck you. Fuck me. Hey, man, you better come outside. I'm going to start blowing the horn up in a minute.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all.
There are so many classic lines in that movie. It's just, that's your man's. That's your man's. Anyhow, how you let the young nigga kill the other young nigga in the middle of, like, fucking
Dinner.
But not only dinner, they had like fucking RPM, Chicago cut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just,
It was just like that. He was just tired. He was tired of this shit. All of it.
worse than Diamond. Ooh, everybody on the dressing room, please. That's true. Touche, Tiger. That was pretty bad too. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody on the dressing room, please. Hate it. But anyhow, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, Tommy Buns, Ron Rilla is in the building. Ron, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man? How y'all feeling?
I'm straight in the part, my brother. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored. If I was doing any better, I'd sell myself.
Heard you. Got them both in. Bang, bang, two
Tommy
piece.
Buns.
Combo. I'm going to tell you, when we take our break, what Ron was doing when I walked in the production studio, fucking hilarious. I know that kind of sounds like maybe I walked in home watching porn or something. That wasn't what was happening, so I don't want to insinuate that about the
He was
brother.
back there behind the green door, huh?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Goddamn Tommy Buns.
Coincidence. It just happened to be a coincidence.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a coincidence. Like, that ain't a coincidence. Like, that's not. No. He is in full pursuit. Okay. Full pursuit. Well, look at him. Look,
King Cake Daddy back
he
there, huh?
is in full pursuit.
Hey, TT.
I'm gonna throw this microphone through the wall.
What we doing today, TT?
But anyway, right? I'm chilling at Sophie yesterday. I told you had a business meeting for IzWiz. That went well, by the way.
Did you run into Vic there?
I did not see Vic there.
He called me this morning like, man, I saw my nephew Herb. And then he went, Vic brain, scatterbrain. So he went to a whole nother conversation.
Yeah,
and I
Vic-
forgot to ask him.
Who knows? Vic be somewhere everywhere, and I do run into Vic in the most random places. Like I always run into Vic, but I didn't run into Vic yesterday. Candace threw up 6 cakes for this nigga. Oh, that's hilarious. I did run into Big Mark though, Mark Aguirre. I ran into him in there yesterday, but anyway, I'm in there having that meeting, and Lil Ron calls me, right? Let me pick up, see what bro wants. Right? It's good, bro. He like, bro, you got a minute? I'm like, I'm in the middle of a meeting, but what's happening? He say, if right now, today, Lil Baby and Jay-Z dropped the album, which one would sell the most? I said, don't ever call me and disrespect my phone like that again. And hung up. Okay? Don't call me and disrespect my phone like that again and hung up, right? So then he texted me. He was like,
Which one?
He texted me thank you, you just proved my point. I said, oh damn, I hung up on this nigga and he was on my TV. He understood what I understood, so I had to call him back. And he's wherever he's at, he's arguing with somebody else who's telling him that if Lil Baby and Jay-Z drop today, that Lil Baby will outsell him.
His first week sales will outdo Jay's.
You're high.
You capping.
You're hot.
We having the conversation was fame versus who's hot, like hot versus fame. I'm like, I don't care. It's a go.
That could work for some people, right? If Lil Baby and Nas drop today, he might outsell Nas.
Exactly.
Right?
You do Nas.
Not
I don't
Hov,
care
man.
who you are. You're not dropping on the same day as Hov and outselling them.
Just because you and I are agreeing, it makes him uncomfortable for everybody in the room to be in agreement, so he has to push back.
Gotta push back.
Everybody in the room can't agree. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a good conversation like that. It's not a good conversation. You know what I'm saying?
You think Lil Baby could outsell Hov right now?
I'm not a fan of Lil Baby.
I am a fan of Lil Baby, actually. He's my favorite new rapper, although Pooh Shiesty is gaining on him. Okay? I am
Same with Lil Baby. I've heard Pooh Shiesty.
I am deep in a Pooh Shiesty rabbit hole right now, and I can't seem to find my way out of it. Every time I go I find another Pooh Shiesty song I like.
All I'm saying is that we
He got a song called Neighbors that
Changing Tide, though. You know
I shot everything in my shower today, okay? Listening to Pooh Shiesty, okay?
But think about this.
Yeah.
The J. Cole album just dropped the other day, right? And I like J. Cole for what it's worth. But again, these are not, I'm not in that group. I'm not in that peer group. I'm not in that demographic.
Right.
Right? But just from the outside looking in, looking at the press that was behind the J. Cole drop, looking at the conversations that was behind the J. Cole drop, they talk about J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake as if Nas, Jay, and Biggie never existed. Like, they talk about them like they're on the Mount Rushmore rap. And really what it is just a symbol of the tide is changing. Right? Their peer group is becoming the dominant peer group. That's all that is.
Yeah, that's true. But Jay-Z, Raymond just made the same point I was making with Ron on the phone yesterday. Like, Jay-Z, his fan base spans too many generations. Jay-Z got like 4 generations of fans. Lil Baby has like 1.5.
But Ron will tell you though, the people like probably right under you, whoever you was having a conversation with,
He
obviously
was
like,
right under me. He
it's
was
like I don't
like 25.
They don't rock with cuz.
Well, who? Hov?
Yeah.
Nobody my age and under rocks with Jay-Z.
None of them people rock
Heard
with
you.
Jay.
These are the same motherfuckers that tell you LeBron is better than Jordan. They don't know any
I
better.
know they're crazy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they don't know.
Is changing.
They don't know any better. Jordan retired, and as far as I'm concerned, retired in '98. I know he ended up playing a couple more years, whatever, in Washington Wizards or whatever the fuck. But Jordan retired in '98, and niggas is 23.
But it brings up another conversation.
You know what I'm saying?
It brings up another conversation. The arrogance of American life, the lack of legacy, the lack of tradition, the lack of value that we have for history. Now, we can have this conversation around rap, and these are generations that are intersecting. Jay-Z and Nas just dropped a song a couple weeks ago, a week ago or so, right? And Lil Baby's on the scene at the same time. There's a generation below Ron who's saying he has no value, he has no relevance, right? And this is a dude who's still in the network, right? So imagine, today's Malcolm's birthday. Imagine how many generations have lost the value of Malcolm's message.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine how many generations don't know who the hell Malcolm is. And that's just Malcolm, right? King and Malcolm, I talk about this all the time. I was born in 76. You do the math on when they died, that was at best 10 years before I got here, at best. I'm talking about not Malcolm, but all of those relevant figures at the time, right? And they were the pinnacle. We can go back further than them. W.D. Farad. We can go to Marcus Garvey. All these names. How many generations have passed and passed and passed, and how diluted has that message gotten? How far away from those measures have we gone? Right? If we can say Jay-Z and Lil Baby are operating in the same sphere in time.
Yeah.
Same sect in time.
Yeah.
And the groups coming beneath them who are engaged in this information.
Yeah.
Can say one has no validity. Imagine how many people don't know what the hell Malcolm stood for.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
True.
It's just an interesting perspective. Also, rest in peace to Paul Mooney.
Well, a lot of people,
Shout out to Cherie.
especially my age and under, don't know more than how he died. They really don't know more about him than how he died.
I wouldn't argue that, but that's kind of the point I'm making, though, right? So I think Stokely Carmichael did this speech at Spelman or something, and it was like on King Day, and they was like, "How many of y'all love Dr. King?" And everybody in the crowd, yeah, all that shit. He said, "How many of y'all have read a Dr. King book?"
Crickets.
So you don't know shit about Dr. King either. All you know about him is the narrative that the white establishment has given you to know about him.
That wasn't late at all.
You know, it's wrong.
That wasn't late at all.
Tommy Buns. He's really not a producer. He's a drug dealer, in the movie scene. He don't know what he's doing.
Hey, yo, bitch. Hey, what's the answer? Number 6. Who did that joke?
I'm a butter law, son.
Who did that joke about DMX?
Ari Spears.
No, it wasn't.
Ari Spears the one who did that.
Hey, yo, bitch.
It was Ari
What's the answer?
Spears.
Number 7. No, it was Cat Williams. It was Cat Williams.
That's Ari Spears.
It was Cat Williams, bro. I'm telling you. It was Cat
Ari
Williams.
Spears was a
Ari
stoner.
Spears might have done some shit.
Because he do DMX all the time.
But he was like, can you imagine that nigga in the classroom trying to cheat? He's like, hey, yo, bitch, what's the answer? Number 7.
I just think that's interesting though, man. Like how far removed we are, even when the shit is in our face.
We are extreme. We are victims of recency. Recency bias is what I was trying to come up with, right? It's recency bias that impacts people on a huge level. When you talk about anything, right? Whatever is the most recent thing, that's the best thing that's ever happened, right? If somebody put somebody on a poster in the NBA tonight, we're gonna be like, that's top 5 dunks all time, right? Whether it actually is or not, right? We're going to forget about John Starks putting the whole Bulls team on the poster. We're going to forget about Vince Carter jumping over a nigga head in the Olympics that's 7 feet. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause the most recent thing. And so any conversation you have, that's kind of how it's going to go. Steph is automatically the best point guard of all time, right? And I'm not knocking Steph. I'm not even saying it's not true, right? But to arbitrarily throw it out there as often and frequently as it is now in complete dismissal of Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, I think he is the best shooter of all time. But again, that ain't the arbitrary dismissal of
everybody that came before him.
Yeah, the Birds, the Millers, the Ray Allens.
Reggie Miller scored what was it?
8 points in 6 seconds.
8 points in 6 seconds, G.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want, G. Anybody who does that.
He scored 8 points.
It is 8 points in 6 seconds to win.
To win the game.
To win the game.
We play to win the game.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can say what you want. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal feat.
Yeah, it was nasty. What did he do?
With defense that was allowed to touch you.
What did he do? He hit 2.
I'm just saying.
I want to say he hit. This was at the Garden.
It's at the Garden.
This was at the Garden.
He's talking to
he's
Spike
talking
Lee.
big shit to Spike.
Talking to Spike Lee while he doing it.
He talking big shit to Spike because him and Spike was always into it.
He's shooting and telling the team y'all all choking while he's shooting on their ass. So it was amazing.
He hit a free throw. Somehow they got the ball right back. He hits a 3, right? And as New York trying to inbound the ball, he may or may not have gotten away with pushing Greg Anthony on the floor. They threw the ball to him. They threw the ball to him. He steals the ball, takes 2 dribbles back to the 3-point line again.
Bing.
Cashes the fuck out.
Bing, bing,
right
bing.
in Spike face. Right on the left wing in Spike face.
Talking shit the whole time.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Nobody ever put fear in my heart as a Bulls fan like Reggie Miller. To be up 2 points while the Pacers had the ball, it's just it's a sinking feeling. Like, he's gonna hit this shot, G. Like, you just believe, like, he's gonna hit this fucking shot.
Ray Allen was a sniper.
I remember he hit that 3 against the Bulls. He did that goofy ass 360 jumping around, went to half court and did that goofy ass bow.
Oh, yeah, the running of the bullshit.
I hate him so bad.
I was watching the last dance thing with Mike, and he was talking about his game with Reggie and how he had to cheat. He had to push Reggie's hand to get the breakaway for the last shot. And they was talking about, like, Reggie was like, man, he actually had to cheat to beat me.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
you ain't cheating, you ain't
that's
trying.
Reggie Miller's perspective.
Yeah. Reggie Miller was.
But Mike said the same thing. Like, yeah, I grabbed his arm. I grabbed
But that
his
really
arm.
wasn't cheating. That's if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to win.
Did it get called?
Right. If it didn't get called, it didn't happen.
Whatever. Reggie Miller also doesn't get enough credit for being one of the most well-conditioned athletes of all time. Okay? Like,
True story.
now they have these little things that you can put, like, on a wristband or whatever that will track an athlete's. In football, they put them in the shoulder pads, and they will track an athlete's movement during a game, right? And you'll find, like, oh, this player ran like 10 miles during the game, right? And his highest speed was this, his average speed was that, all of this kind of shit.
All the analytics.
If you were able to do that with Reggie Miller, he may have ran 20 miles in a game. He never, ever, ever stopped moving, G. And he probably only dribbled the ball maybe 10 times a game. but he never, ever, ever stopped moving. He's chasing niggas
Screen
off
and
double
roll all
screens,
day
triple
long,
screens.
yeah.
And just to be able to keep up with that nigga is a task in and of itself. Like, I can't chase this fool around all these screens all day. You got the Dale Davis and Antonio, you got the Davis brothers, you got Rick Smits, all these motherfuckers setting all these screens, and he's just running around. All he needs is a half a second and an inch of daylight, and it's cash.
And he
You put it on the
fire
board.
your ass.
Fire
He
you
gonna
up.
fire you up.
Put it on the board. I give the shooting thing to Steph now because of the many different ways that Steph is able to shoot the ball from. He don't have to just be off screens and setting up. He can do a straddle pull up on the dribble, and he can also do it from the fucking parking lot, which is different, right? I'm not saying that if the game wasn't like that back then, Reggie couldn't have been able to shoot from 30 and 40 feet, but they just generally shot from right about the three-point line. Now these niggas pulling up as soon as they cross half court. Steph and Dame are crazy. They crazy. But yeah, recency bias is some bullshit for sure.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
BT mentioned T-Mac dropping 13 in like the last like 59 seconds, something like that. Thing was ridiculous. I actually recently watched that highlight. If you don't remember it or you haven't seen it in a while, just go back and watch. Just search T-Mac 13 points in the last minute. He went unconscious on.
T-Mac was different.
I want to say it was the Spurs. He went unconscious on them. Fucking ridiculous how it was crazy. 13 points. It was crazy. Anyhow. I do want to touch a little bit deeper on Paul Mooney's passing. Paul Mooney, man. How do I want to put this, man? He was unapologetic in a way that is so rare. Like you get it from like Paul Mooney, Dick Gregory, and I don't know too many other people who deliver it like that.
In that same vein. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's always been rumors circulating about Paul Mooney's sexuality as well.
Yeah, he talks a little different. He dresses a little different. I don't care. He's masculine as they come.
Fuck with him 100%.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Masculine as they come. Do I think he dibbles and dabs or he has an affinity to the male sex? Probably. Don't matter.
I don't care if he's a butt private. He's funny and he's direct. It's just about
You're funny and direct. Okay.
I'm just saying. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Pacers one of the only teams to take the Bulls to Game 7 against Mike championship run. That's true. They did take the Bulls to Game 7, and I was terrified he was going to lose that game.
Paul Mooney don't get his just due.
Paul Mooney does not get his just due at all. He was really, really funny. Comedically, really, really funny, but also always socially conscious in his commentary, right? Even his comedy was very socially conscious. It was very honest. It was raw. It was unapologetic, and it was necessary. He spoke truth in places where very few people would speak truth at.
I think in a lot of ways, and you know, we often quote comedians in here. Mm-hmm. I think in a lot of ways, comedians become the truth tellers of our social paradigm. Mm-hmm. Because of the very nature of their career choices, it's like they're allowed the freedom to push the boundaries. And if you're black, any perspective that you have is going to push the boundaries. Is usually,
if you're being honest,
it's going to question white supremacy. Mm-hmm. So even today, when you think about, at least for us in this room, you know, we talk about Chris Rock a lot. Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle ranks very highly in this room.
Yeah.
So when you think about those two comedians, they're kind of cerebral guys. They're not the Kevin Hart's, the slapstick kind of laughter.
Right. No.
They're digging deeper and they're challenging constructs that we kind of normalize. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that it's interesting whenever I meet somebody and we start to dig into that who's your favorite comedian bag. Once they start naming names, I kind of know what kind of people they are.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I can decide whether or not I really want to deal with these kind of people.
Yeah, if
at least in that capacity.
No, for sure, right? To me, for you to be elevated into certain stratospheres of comedy, there has to be some substance to it. You could make me laugh all day, but if I'm only laughing at,
if it's all surface level shit,
okay.
How funny is it?
Yeah, you know what I mean. We ain't gonna touch.
How far can you go with it?
Right. We ain't gonna touch on nothing.
So when I hear them comedians like, I don't talk on politics and I don't talk on race, I'd be like, I'm probably not gonna dig you.
Yeah, nah, this, you know, it's got to be deeper than that. And Paul Mooney constantly went deeper than that. And you know, anytime he was on a talk show or a panel discussion, right, he was always raw, real, uncut, unapologetic,
challenging the social norm.
Always,
this is some bullshit.
Always, and he would call out white supremacy wherever it showed up, but he would also call out black bullshit wherever it showed up. And I just appreciated him for that, man. So
It's funny too. They say most of the funniest comedians become funny because their lives are rooted in so much pain.
yeah, the trauma.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting. It's kind of you had this conversation a couple of weeks ago, and we was talking about the statement "ignorance is bliss," and I was like, most intellectual people kind of live in this kind of traumatic kind of life. Like the more you know, the more traumatic this shit is. The more traumatic experiences is because oftentimes you don't see any way out. Right? It's like, damn, I know this is fucked up, but what's the out? And I think comedy makes it palatable for the human experience. Like you can challenge this truth in a manner that's funny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's so necessary. And this is not just black comedians. Even when you think about like the late night talk show circuit today, you got Colbert, you got the dude on HBO. I forget his name.
Yeah. I can see all their
the
faces.
white
I don't really know
boy,
none of their names.
But all of them are rooted in the same kind of construct. You know what I mean? They all rooted in the same kind of idealism where they're challenging the social norms. And you see that talking about how we intake information. Most of us won't watch the news, but we'll watch that and get information from that. I think that's very interesting.
That is interesting. I just, whatever. If you're gonna be, but even in. Well, let me not tell that lie because I just told y'all that Pooh Shiesty is my favorite rapper right now. I was about to say
balance.
I was about to say right. I was about to say even in music, I'd like to hear some substance, but I rap.
Yeah, I ride up to some
I really
UGK all the time. It's
I don't go to music for that. Right. I go to Malcolm X speeches or Dr. King speeches or George Carlin stand-up comedy
music too, though.
or Dick Gregory. You know what I'm saying? I don't really go to music for that. That's not really that ain't really where I go for my substantive material.
John Oliver and Bill Maher, good looking BC.
Yeah, it's one other dude I'm trying to think of. I just can't think of what his fucking name is. But that was definitely the dude you was thinking about.
Music is a universal language too, though. So I get it all, G. We were just talking about somebody in the room. Like I go there to listen, feel like I was in a drive-by. I like that.
That's real.
You know
That's
what I mean?
real.
But it's also information to be learned there too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all of this is balanced. It's no overcompensating one way or the other. It's balance. You know, find the center and respect the spectrum.
Exactly.
That's all.
Rest in peace to Paul Mooney. Job well done, sir. Race well run. We appreciate your contributions to the culture. Rest well. I want to go to a Heaven comedy show, boy, because Richard Pryor, Dick Gregory, Paul Mooney, George Carlin, Red Fox, Robin Harris, like I just want to go. They got to be up there clowning. You hear me? Like that shit got to be the funniest shit ever. Like for real. I could imagine just being in a space where all of them are. Don't matter what it is. Like a space where all of them are, your face gotta hurt. Like the set of Harlem Nights. I don't know how they ever filmed a scene. You got to be in there crying laugh. Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Arsenio Hall, Delarice, like. You got to just be in this motherfucker crying all day long. Like, hey, the director pit, hey, for real, all right, we got to shoot this fucking scene now, okay? Y'all calm the fuck down. But that's a level of comedic genius that's different. Yeah, Bernie Mac, Kang, you are absolutely right. I had no business leaving him off that.
But you know what though? I mean,
heavenly comedy show.
Respect to all of them for sure, and it is something to be said about those who master their craft. But that energy in general. Is just such a natural part of black existence, right? I can't go to a family event where my uncles don't have me damn near in tears laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't be around all my guys and somebody say something that has me, well, my stomach hurt, laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just such a natural part of our experience. But again, as we assimilate into these throes of whiteness, it's like we got to shun that kind of a light. We got to shun that kind of an energy.
Yeah.
And that's the energy that really makes us beautiful. It's the energy that really makes us great.
It's, man, signifying is just the thing. I just grew up, all of my uncles and old heads, that's just how they are, right? And so it just naturally became how I am, right? My brother Darius is in here, like, in our house, that's what we did all the fucking time. If you was sensitive in our house, you was going to fight or cry every day. That was just it, because it was merciless, okay? And let us find out you touched about it. Now we leaning on that real hard now. Are you upset about that? Cool. That's what we on all day now.
Well, you know my Uncle Craig. Mm-hmm. So when I was a shorty, Uncle Craig was probably in his 20s.
Not Charlie Murphy, too. Yes, damn. I'm talking about Bernie Mac and Richard Pryor, and you going to put Charlie Murphy in it.
But Uncle Craig was a young cat. when I was born. So he's in his mid-20s probably. So every Sunday for 26 years of my life, I went to hoop with Uncle Craig and his homies. Now they would hoop from like 8 to like 11, 12 maybe, but from 12 to 2. It was just drinking beers and talking shit. And I went for the drinking beers and talking shit. It wasn't about the basketball. It's just part of the culture.
Come for the hoop and stay for the drinking beers and talking shit. Okay, like
That's all it was.
That's just what it is, man.
Come for the drinking beers and talking shit. Stay for the basketball.
Stay for the basketball. right. Yeah, that's real, man. I appreciate that kind of rearing and upbringing so much, man. And it's who I am to this day. Like my sense of humor is ridiculous. I laugh at shit that nobody thinks is fun. Like, that's not fun. You shouldn't laugh at that. Yes, it is, fam. It's fucking hilarious. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, nigga, everybody always tell me the same thing. When you have kids, your kids gonna come out like this, like that. Charlie Murphy was in Harlem Nights. Whatever, Darius. You throwing me off.
Remember that.
Yeah, I'm laughing. Period. One of my uncles, man, I'll never forget this. You got to hear Ron tell the story because he actually did it to Ron. But walk in the store. And it's quiet, right? It's quiet in the store. I don't think it had like no background music. It's just quiet, right? And out of nowhere, you hear this loud, like screeching holler, right? And he's like, oh. We like looking around, what's going on? He got his arm up on the counter. He's like, oh. He like, cut it off. We like, oh, what's wrong with you? Man, I give my right arm for that girl right there, man. She fine as hell. I say, this motherfucker is nuts. Everybody in the store like, what is going on? Like, I give my right arm for that girl right there, Ron. She fine as hell. I'm like, this nigga is crazy. But they was all the time, dude. All his name Winston. Him and my other uncle Butch. If you get them in the room together,
It's a problem.
it's over with. It's over with if you get them two in the room together. Like, I just appreciate that, man. I don't like sensitive people. I can't be around sensitive people because I'm going to offend you. Not on purpose, but you sensitive and I'm no holds barred. So I'm going to
I don't got no tax. I offend people all the time. I don't give a shit. It is what it is at this point. You offended? Fuck you.
Yeah, that's right. My son knows you better be clever and come up with a comeback. That's it. Clap back, fam. Like, or cry. Like, those are your choices. Like, or fight me. Can you
Make sure quick on your feet though. Make sure it's brain work. It's brain function.
It's a mental exercise. It really, really is, and you have to be good at it. Now Darius Turner right there, not good at it. Okay, me, Ron, Diop, great at it. Matt, decent at it, but Matt is always so damn serious, and so he was the one we usually picked on because he was the first. He was always the one that was gonna get tight about it, like quick, and so you just keep messing with him, and then Matt want to fight, right? Darius would try to throw in a joke, but it was all the timing was bad. The shit was like some of the the most classic things we've ever laughed at in the house was just shit Darius said, and everybody else just busted like, "You fucking serious? Like that's it's not funny, bro. Like, just fucking crying, laughing."
Man, it is what it is.
Good times. Club 6718 that we used to call it. Good time. Let's take a break, man. Let's take a break. I know we're a little bit shy of the 2:00 hour, but let's go ahead and take that break now. When we come back on the other side of the break, we'll jump deeper into some conversations today. Happy birthday to the king. Malcolm X would have been how old today,
I have no clue.
Let's find that out on the break. So I said what I said. His name is Tu. My name is Herb. Ron is in the production studio. We'll be right back.
WIIFTBP. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Got to Kennedy King, so you remember Corey Brown?
I definitely remember Corey Brown from Morgan Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Murder, man. So I got it in with y'all one day before a game, and then y'all literally went out and destroyed some people by about 50 at Kennedy King, and I'll never forget, somebody shot a jumper. It came off long, and Corey will tell this story to this day. He says he went up, and I was in the stands. He went up for the rebound, and before he could jump, he said he felt a foot on his head. And it was you. And you caught it. Classic P-Mac catching it over everybody, putting it back in. He says before he jumped, he felt a foot on his head. And Corey was 6'4", easy.
On his head.
On his head.
Yeah, Corey was 6'4", man. I used to just, I don't know, I had a knack, man. I was always uber athletic. Like I was taught earlier, if somebody shoot, you got to come from the opposite side. I had a guy in my neighborhood named Wayne Irvin, legendary dude to us in our neighborhood. Played at Chicago State, played at Wyoming.
Okay.
Played against Patrick Ewing. He passed away a couple years ago, but went to CVS. He was a decorated player. A lot of people knew him. And he taught me early, like, you attack offensive rebounds from the opposite side. So if somebody shoot from the left wing, you crash from the right. If somebody shoot from the top of the key, you can crash because it can go either way and you can get it. I was so big and athletic. I used to get a lot of tip dunks. Like, for some reason, people never boxed me out. And once I got a running start, if it came off anywhere over the rim and bounced up, you was dead.
This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Day. Check it out. See, while you was on the corner trying to scrape up pack money, I was driving 80 stack trucks on rap money. I'm back money. If you want it, come to the hundreds and ask for me. Meet them OGs that'll blast for me. I'm right here. Ill Adidas, $400 jeans on me. Itchy with no safety, a loaded magazine on me. Southside, that's as wild as it gets. And no, I never sold crack, that's some house nigga shit. I'm not judging, but every man that's a man gotta stand by his principles, and I'm not budging. That's Mickey, you can take it how you want, but you can never be me, you can fake it how you want. I spit that uncut raw, you can bake it how you want. Break it down any way you like, you get the same result. Get in tune, the elephant in the room has now assumed pole position. Whoa. Oh. BJ, get him. Come on.
Reporting live from the gutter where that butter get gorillas jobs. That's why we call it work. The same work will get a nigga robbed. I throw my dice against the concrete. If the bitches pass, see you later. Grab my paper, tell her they kiss my ass. This the jungle, baby, I'm a lion. Try me, I'll be firing. The same banger saved Private Brian. You the prey, you survive and hide. Better pray that them vultures and them rovers don't go flying by them. Them other niggas just so-so. How Lindenberg for nigga this hot in the cold go. I went from 20-inch assassins on that Osmo to that pretty 760 sitting low on them bozos. Those are big shoes, you motherfuckers is so slow. Get caught without your heat in these streets is a no-no. Baby need Pampers, daddy need that photo. It's bread or nothing, big old niggas, you see the logo.
Whoa. Come on, Scooter. Look, I don't see a nigga alive. And if a nigga claim he better, then that nigga done lied. And if some niggas jump chose, bet them niggas done died. You can always spot a cobra by the look in his eyes. You look at his click, check out his bitch, and look at his guys. Cause 9 times out of 10, all that tough shit be just for the skies. And that does it. I got the chrome Mac in a black luggage. Cause money ain't the root of evil, Jack is the lack of it. I stay different. I move around like y'all hate women. I'm starting to think this whole industry full of gay bitches. No checkers, it's a chess game. Catch me in the next lane. Fly nigga, bunch of ice on me like my chest frame. All money's pocketing that like a Hamas rocket attack. Explode profit and jacks where your moccasins black. Acknowledging that he resides. Scriptures is heathenized. Y'all couldn't paint the pictures that he provide. Eagle eyes, eagle eye on the beef out. Either scream peace or pull your piece out. The flow will knock your teeth out. From out west where we never put our rags down. I ain't the best, most likely it's that Ragtown nigga. That's me. All I can see on this beat. Whoa. Hey, haters, keep hating. Y'all inspire me. Chicago. West side, south side, north pole, east side. Stick your chest out.
Hey, I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears for Chicago. I pray we don't get lost in all our sorrow. I say I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears for Chicago. We don't know if we gon' let us see tomorrow. No. 52 wounded, 10 murdered in a weekend. Homicides on women are increasing. 12 blinking at us for no reason. Feel like we going off the deep end. They still ain't found Kierico. Reported missing about a year ago. And she was pregnant with a little one. Her family praying for a miracle. Taxi van, Kanika ain't get no justice. Where the energy they have for Jussie Smollett? I done heard every theory, but where the I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears for Chicago. I pray we don't get lost in all our sorrow. I say I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears for Chicago. We don't know if we gon' let us see tomorrow. No. Woman found dead, baby cut out of a womb. I wish it wasn't true. Another woman shot down while her baby in her arms. Can somebody call a truce? This is genocide, honestly. We still remember Tychon Lee. I'm implementing new policies, trying to save the generation under me. We gotta drop the sticks and put the poles up. Your man is a weapon, you need to load up. I couldn't imagine losing one of my daughters.
Shoot, I wanna glow up. I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears for Chicago. I pray we don't get lost in all our sorrow. I say I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears. I'm crying real tears for Chicago. We don't know if we gon' live to see tomorrow. No.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what a cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
What's happening, family? We are back and we are live from inside the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Toussaint Werner. My name is Howard. Big shout out to Ryan Willer, man. Well, he had to do some adjustments in the studio, and he actually
He made it happen, man.
He wasn't terrible.
The buzz came through, man. You know
He
what I'm saying?
wasn't terrible. So I appreciate that. Jacob, yeah, that was corporate on that trash song. I mean, on that song that just played.
Hey, I know we got some guests coming in, but real quick, man, I just want to shout out King Salim. I was telling you off air earlier, Maze was having a conversation, and I made mention of something that I know most people wouldn't catch, but King Salim caught it. He was like, "Too, I'm impressed."
He was proud of you?
And just because he was proud of me, I was proud of me.
It matters. To get an attaboy from King Salim is like your dad. Like, thanks, Dad.
It definitely was like,
thank you. Finally, I made it. Yes. That's all I ever wanted to hear was that you were proud of me.
yes.
I've yet to get one of those. This is me fishing for once. Just throw me one.
For right now.
Just throw me one.
Throw me one, King. Nah, he give them to you all the time, man.
He be like, I hear you, Herb.
That's a compliment from somebody.
But that's fucking stupid. I mean, damn it. All I ever wanted was to make you proud.
What's that Rick Ross line? All I ever wanted to be was somebody my mama could say she was proud of, that the neighborhood was in but behind.
That's all I ever wanted, man. I'm not asking for much. You know what I'm saying?
Asking for much. That's all I ever wanted.
I don't think I'm asking for too much, but you know, it bees what it bees. Either way, speaking of corporate though, the last Black Chicago Be Like, hilarious. Okay, yeah. Watched it today.
You know what, G? Since I hate to say this out loud, should I not say it out loud? Since I hate to say it out loud,
Say it.
Yeah, since he's been on the show, I don't really watch that shit no more.
Because you can't see him that way no more.
I don't want to see it. I don't know, man. There's something about, I don't know, the real energy versus the pretend energy was like so far apart that it was like, it just makes me uncomfortable.
On the show, he seems so Black Chicago, and then to talk to him is like,
who's this guy?
Not so much.
Yeah.
And so the inauthentic, the
inauthenticity.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
It impacts.
And maybe he is authentic. I don't know.
Did you let them in there though? Okay, cool.
Look at Salim, shout you out again. See,
but he did it in a way that I don't understand. He knows that. he's really making fun of me. He's not shouting me out. He does it in a way. He does it in a way that I can't readily identify. I don't know I don't know if that's a compliment.
Just say good job.
Yeah, I don't know. I regularly ply you with plaudits. You know what I'm saying? He makes fun of me while he's complimenting me.
He's a poet laureate.
He's like, watch, this nigga don't know what this means. He manages to make fun of me while he's showing me love. It's Salimian. It's Salimian. I feel you on that piece about who we talking about? Corporate. I feel you on that, but I still enjoy the things. And they are
funny, G. Just every time I see one, I see the real conversation.
But it's
and it just so makes me uncomfortable.
He has to be like, I think that you can't even get that type of authenticity without having some type of.
I mean, I no doubt that he's lived it, and maybe the person he becomes in interviews is the falsehood. I don't know, but either way, I just be normal, cuz that's all I want.
Yeah,
you ain't got to put on the show for us. We liked you as you were. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I feel on that, but I really, really enjoy the show. I think it's hilarious, right? I think it's hilarious, and the last one was super, super fire.
Come on.
Oh, I just hit myself in the face trying to tell Emerald to come in here.
Yeah. See?
And to bring Zora, too.
That's why Salim gives you the kind of compliments he gives you.
I just hit myself enough. And I can already taste blood. Like, I really, pushed my lip into my tooth so hard I scratched it.
Hell dumb. You like my retarded child.
God,
hey,
dang.
Ron, why we ain't on YouTube, bro? What's going on here?
Speaking of dumb, and Lil Ron.
We might be good. Might be me.
Speaking of dumb and Lil Ron.
His name ain't Lil Ron. It's Tommy Buns.
My bad.
Tommy Buns.
Speaking of Tommy Buns from Belly.
Get it right.
When he tried to become a Muslim so he could kill somebody.
On Malcolm's birthday. You know what I'm saying?
On Malcolm's birthday.
So disrespectful.
Ron is disrespecting himself. Okay?
He get in the studio together, though.
Yeah, but in his real life, he's disrespecting himself.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have that conversation one day.
Yeah, when
we decide to leave this station,
we're just going to air this shit out.
Everybody.
We're going to air everything. You know what? I'm done with y'all. Anyway, man, listen. We are back. We are live from inside the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This guy's name is Toussaint. This guy's name is Herb. Appreciate you all so very, very much for choosing to hang out with us here on a Wednesday. As always, your input valued. Appreciate it. Continue to add to the conversation. We'll continue to read through some of your comments as we go. Got some very, very, very special guests in the studio. Two of the very best in the world at what they do. I do not throw that around lightly. I tell you all the time that I love to watch masters at work, regardless of what that work is. If you are a master at whatever, painter or driver, then I want to watch you do your thing. If you are a master baby, then I want to watch you do your thing. Zoro, come on, you want to be on camera? Only with mommy?
Going with her mama.
Heard you. Anyhow, in the studio, joining us live in the studio right now. Let me get this. There are so many things in this feed right now, bro. Like, we got to take. It's fine, bro. If you just leave it alone, I actually had it decent. You just keep bothering it. It's
in real, like a block off hosted was happening.
See. Here y'all go.
See, that's that authenticity that I love.
Here y'all go.
You know what I mean? That's why they don't like corporate no more.
Wow.
I mean, you know, I can respect this crap, but
Speaking of authenticity, this nigga out here looking like B2K. I see you too.
first of all, that's just getting disrespectful. First off, we gonna go with both thugs and Hardy.
Bump. Head ass out of here, boy. Oh, she just come in here flaming your ass off GP.
Go kicking it off.
Soon as she walk in the door, she just come in here gunning your ass. Bumping your. Hey, bro, I'm trying to fix it, and every time I do, you move it again.
Be knowing.
Anyhow, let me pop this camera up. Oh, that's a weird look.
She wanted, you know, that's my daughter out there. She can stay out there with her if you wanted to. She'll watch it.
Well, let her tear it up. Ain't too much to be torn up. She ain't gonna do much. It's all good. I can't get a view that I really appreciate here. Bear with me for a second, y'all. I don't want y'all to see what I'm looking at on my screen right now because it's hurting my eyes. I don't want it to hurt y'all's too. That's not gonna work either. I suppose that'll work.
That's good. Let's go.
That's just gonna be what it's got to be.
It's gonna make it do.
Anyhow. Anyway.
Do the introduction, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm doing way too much trying to get the dog on camera right. Forget it.
Where we at here?
You will be in a second.
No, we here. We ain't paying them no attention.
Yeah,
We're here.
If y'all ever want to look into the camera and do one of those talking to the things, it's that camera right there. But we over here with it. Anyway, joining us in the studio, one and only Emerald Green, like a block off Halsted.
Indeed, Halsted run a long way. That's why I'm still here.
Coldest name in the game, man. I've been telling her that since forever.
Triple, quadruple threat. She is up. That one ain't kicking.
They don't give a fuck.
Listen, man. Spoken word artist of the highest order.
I appreciate you.
An underrated vocalist.
Oh, come on with it.
Oh, okay.
Come on with it.
And an absolute fool as well.
Yes.
Fully.
Comedy too. Right?
Fully a fool.
Like a year or so ago, maybe I kind of wiped the whole year off the map with the pandemic, but like a year or so ago, she dipped into comedy. And like everything else she's dipped her foot in, she's cold at that shit. And I'm like, damn, dig that. So what's happening? How you?
I'm good, my brother. I am good. I am esteemed here to celebrate Malcolm X's birthday in a black ass city. You know, Malcolm X had a lot of love for the city of Chicago, being that, you know, the Nation of Islam and Muhammad Ali and others are centered here. Malcolm had, you know, a lot of love for the city. So we are here with the Sandwich Ministry tonight at the Woodline on 79th Street, 1200 East 79th Street.
Whoa. You're killing me, Petey.
Killing me. And he don't give a fuck. And, and tonight we have one of, you know, the, I don't know, one of the legends in the game. One of the coldest, one of the best to ever do it, as they say. The legendary Black Ice will be on 79th Street tonight.
Oh, man, you did?
Well,
in the building.
I don't have a better intro for him than that.
Oh, man.
Ice, what's good, man?
Oh, man, what's good? What's happening, Shy? And everybody, and what's happening?
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all following through. We appreciate you being here. Come on over here. You want to play with this iPad? It ain't the iPad that you're used to. You ain't going to find like Baby Shark on it or nothing. But Appreciate you being here, man. What's happening with you?
Oh man, I'm in the States for I've been in the States for about a month now.
Okay.
Working on a couple things.
Yeah.
Some really big stuff that I can't really
hop into it just yet.
Yeah, hop into it just yet. But then
and we break all the rules here. You can tell us.
Yeah. Yeah, but that might mess with the bag.
You gonna fuck with his jacket here? You gonna wait?
I want to mess with the bag, but no, I've been and seeing family. Obviously, I live in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I've been there since.
How long you been out
there? Since 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's home.
What drove you to Amsterdam, brother?
The red light district.
Oh wow!
No,
Outside of that. Outside of the red light
So
district.
for the record, that it's against my religion to pay.
It's against my religion to pay for pussy. I love it.
It's against my religion. So, no, it wasn't the red light district or the good weed. Because,
but it is good.
No, it was. I actually, I'm over there. I'm an adjunct professor at Amsterdam University of the Arts.
That's what's up.
And
Super
I
dope.
also teach at Academy for Theater and Dance. They asked me to come in and implement and actually start teaching my theory on performance poetry. So. Over there doing that, then and somehow, not somehow, I wound up having 2 new babies and
Somehow.
There's only one way, ain't it?
Yeah, so which is
That's
a
what's
beautiful,
up.
Which is a beautiful thing. So now I'm just doing a lot of writing for different brands and whatnot, but I still got a lot of art to get off. So I come back over here and I'm working on some things that I think are gonna further the culture of spoken word and poetry and and then also doing some stuff just for the fun, hopping on a couple cats, some really big cats albums, doing some interludes, some outros, So, and then I got some artwork I'm working on myself, So tonight I'm actually obviously here supporting the Sandwich Ministry, and we was just like kind of talking about it. It was like, oh man, let's pull it off.
Yeah.
And, so we pulled it off, and so I'm here. So everybody in the Shy, come out tonight, and come and hang out with me. I heard I'm pretty good. I don't know.
One of the best to ever do it, my brother. One of the best to ever do what you do. It's always a pleasure to watch you work, man. Been a fan for a very, very long time, man.
Okay,
and then to find out that it's not just a dope artist, it's a dope dude. You know what I mean? And that matters to me anyway. You know what I mean? And so, man.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me. Yeah, man, it's gonna be dope.
When's
It's gonna
last
be
time you been here?
shit. Years ago. It was a few years ago. I think it was with either with Real Talk or
Shout out to Real Talk.
Shout out to
Brian
Real Talk.
Alexander Williams. He just got married. I thought they just had a ceremony or something. I thought
was
they were already married
right?
too.
Right.
And then I saw it, and it just popped up like wedding. I was like, oh, congratulations, I suppose.
Authentic black life.
Right. I thought they was already married too. But obviously they were already married.
Obviously,
if
right,
that's
for
the
sure.
energy they
Right,
give,
for sure, for sure.
Which is supposed to be the thing.
Which is supposed to be how it is anyway. But yeah, they shout out to them for sure.
Till you fully understand white supremacy, everything you
else
think you understand will only confuse you.
Yeah. So
Neely
I haven't
Fuller.
been out here in some years. I know I came out here with Brandon, but then I came out here with my man Prince of Pain from over
Humble Park.
Yeah, from over Humble Park. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm hip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fire
from Humble Park.
Good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude. You good dude.
That's what's up. Yep. So
Moving right along.
I hate y'all, man. Y'all so terrible. So listen, man. You are so fire, right? And so when you talk about the Sandwich Ministry, right?
Yeah.
And everything that you do for the community, y'all literally have handed out thousands of lunches completely free, right on the 9.
Indeed.
And that ain't free.
It is not, my brother. It is not, my brother. It is not free at all. First off, shout out just.
I mean, it's free to the people eating it, but it ain't free to you.
What's the first time you seen what it was? Juneteenth? Was that the first time when you came? It was like, this is for real.
No. Y'all had been doing it.
I was doing lives and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
y'all had been
But I'm
doing
saying
it.
that was the first time you had saw.
But it was on Juneteenth. That thing was crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, that thing was crazy. And then you was out there, and then Storm was here, Red Storm was here, was spitting, and y'all was out there spitting. That thing was crazy. I'm looking forward to it again this year too.
I am too. We're gonna be there later on Juneteenth. at the Woodline. But yo, shout out Darnell, good brother.
100%.
Darnell over there on 79th and Woodline.
100%.
I just got to put a call in and just ask,
1200 East Woodline. If you ain't been to the Woodline, you
Yes.
can pull up. Good food,
Tonight-
great environment, good
Tonight,
ambiance.
yeah, it's a pop-up restaurant, so the menu always changes depending on the chef. But tonight is all for the sandwich ministry. We trying to raise a couple grand, get a few dollars in the air, make the dollars circulate. We're going to be back on the 9 starting June 16th. For those that are not familiar, briefly, if I could just break it down.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic happened last year, the children, a lot of children depend on school for food. Let's start there. So a lot of children depend on school for food. So when the pandemic happened and they were like, oh, you can still come get your lunches. But then when certain students weren't coming to get their lunches, they said, hey, we're not going to have lunches at this site. You're going to have to go to this site to get lunches.
Right.
So, and if you live in Chicago, this site could be GD's and this site could be BD's. It's a lot going on.
Big
so
facts.
it's
Big
just
facts.
like, why would we do that? You know what I'm saying? So that was one. Then after the murder of George Floyd, they came and decided they were going to have a police presence at these sites that were handing out food. So it's kind of like that's intimidation.
Yeah, a lot of trauma associated with that. Y'all trying to keep kids away with that.
Yeah, like what y'all on? So we decided that we're gonna make sure these kids eat regardless of whatever's going on. If you've never had food insecurities growing up, it's kind of hard to understand.
it. Yeah.
And I've never had food insecurities growing up, but I've worked with children who had food insecurities, and I see the difference. A lot of times people think these children are angry or upset or blah, 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 when a lot of times they are indeed hungry. And that's at the bottom of it.
I was probably
what I'm saying?
going to ask you to do this anyway.
What's up?
But since you're talking about children and food insecurities,
here we go.
Can we get to hot chips, cheese, and beef?
We'll get there.
I don't say it right now, but can we get hot chips, cheese, and beef? You know what I'm saying? Why we was gonna go?
We'll get there.
Because we was messing with Ice about his escapades and endeavors into Amsterdam. I was gonna ask you to hit us with the and you are not.
We ain't gonna do that.
But we got sorry.
You can see what that is. So, back to the children that are hungry.
Speaking of that, it's about time for you and B, ain't it?
No.
Y'all about due. I'm telling you.
I got one at the crib.
Y'all about
that's
due for
smaller
one.
than her. I have one at the crib smaller than her. Back to the children that are hungry. That's where the sandwich ministry started, is because food insecurities, and depending on where you live in Chicago, I know y'all familiar, it's a lot of food deserts in Chicago. And that just creates a lot of just unnecessary hurdles in our community that we don't need. So if you live, the Woodline is on 79th and Woodline. So if you live on 79th and Woodline, you're getting your groceries from either that Aldi's on 79th and Stony. You're going to the Jewel on 75th and Stony. Or some people go all the way to 71st and Jeffrey to that new
And that's new
grocery. Or you're left to whatever on 79th Street and whatever available on 79th
you eating out
Street.
the gas station.
Hello. So the sandwich ministry makes sure every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday the kids get a lunch. This lunch is a nutritional lunch on top of that. And then on Fridays, we give a super lunch. On Fridays, we give enough food to make sure they are covered until Monday. There's other resources that take care of Monday and Tuesday. We all come together for Monday and Tuesday. But like anything, y'all know Monday and Tuesday is slow in the streets.
Yeah.
So we've done it, and we've not had a lot of traffic. But Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we've had a lot of traffic. So I do ask that tonight you all come. It's doors open at 7:30. The show is at 8 o'clock. It is featuring the Junius Paul Quartet. Just added to the show, just on some, we just want to get down. I'm like, what? Junius Paul Quartet, for y'all that don't know, that's some jazz for your ass. But Junius Paul, the brother Eros, the winner of the Chicago Spoken Word Music, Chicago Music Award winner for Spoken Word Artist of the Year, Goddess Warrior Poet. She is bonkers. I'm just saying, you know, I know a lot of times people don't, baby.
Nah, for you to give it up, that always matters to me.
Man, hey.
The first person I heard you give it up like that to was Georgia Me.
Oh, it's gay.
And I didn't.
Georgia Me dope too.
Oh, she's super
It's
fire.
gay.
Like she's come to be one of my favorite people, and she's hella dope too. Her and M is sisters, so when she come, I always see her or whatever. But I didn't know until then. Then I saw her, and I was like, hey, she crazy. I think you brought her to the promontory or somewhere, and I was like,
did.
yo.
Game is the truth. And we sent y'all the heralds afterwards. That's right.
Yeah, and there was some dude in there acting crazy to some woman. We had to get on him. I had to be outside.
All the time. Yes. The bakery.
Yeah.
The bakery. Yeah, so tonight, y'all, 7:30 doors open. Show at 8 o'clock. Look, I miss poetry. I miss poetry so much that I am looking forward to getting my first like super dose of poetry with Black Ice. Like,
Man.
you know, for y'all that do not
That's
know, I'm finna get
bananas.
high tonight.
That's
like, this, you know what I'm saying?
bananas.
Like, this is finna be like, you got like Reggie, and then you got like Cali, and then you got like indoor. Like, we going indoor tonight. Like, I don't know about y'all, but if y'all been smoking that Huff and Puff, you know, tonight is definitely going to get you where you need to be. Not only on the
Also, look
poetry
up Strange
side,
Fruit. Just look it up.
you know what?
Just look up Strange Fruit.
Premium. The show is hosted by, the after party is sponsored by Strange Fruit Premium 420 Friendly, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. No, that's super dope. It is a very, very worthwhile cause. Come out and support. First of all, you're gonna get a fire show, right? Just the fact that the two of them are here, right? Is enough of a show to come out and see it. But everybody else is that's on the ticket is fire as well. And then you're gonna feel good about, you know, supporting something that's really, really worthwhile. So get to 1200 East 79th Street tonight. 7:30 doors will be open. Showtime promptly at 8 o'clock. Don't miss it, man. Don't stay in the crib. It's a beautiful day outside in the city. It rained a little bit earlier, but it's decent outside.
Bring your ass out.
Bring your ass
We're
out.
spoiled. We're spoiled in Chicago with poetry. I tell people that all the
That's
time.
real.
Like, we're spoiled. This is
Shout
one.
out to Harold Green.
Shout out to
Come
Harold
on.
Green,
Harold
K
Green.
Love.
K-Love.
Man, come on. We're spoiled. We're momentum.
Shout out to Momentum.
Man, we could go.
Shout out
Man,
to Prince of Pain.
Come
Shout
on.
out to. Sheesh.
On that note,
What's
Chicago is Mecca for all things black. Personally.
indeed.
Personally, right?
Indeed.
But in that vein too, Em, this is what I was just thinking about while you was talking, man. And
Phenomenal.
it's just something I've noticed
Yes.
geographically over the last couple of years.
Yes.
It's seeming to me that the 9 is kind of becoming the epicenter of just blackness. And it's like, we ain't necessarily from the 9.
No.
But it's pulling all us there. You know
They're
what I mean?
trying. They're trying. And y'all know at one time, that's where you wanted to be. The
Yeah.
Sears was there, you know. But that part of 79th Street, that between Stoney and Cottage is just often forgot about.
It is.
It's just often.
Yeah, it's just not a lot.
Like, you get that after
Yeah.
Happy
It's
Liquors.
the west
it
side of the
just-
south side.
It do. After Happy Liquors, it just turned into, you
And
know.
we used to kick it on South Chicago like they do in the circle out west. We back on Friday, Saturday nights,
Yeah.
kick it on South Chicago, late night, all the
Totally.
cars and bikes and
Totally.
shorts and whatnot.
Totally. And 79th Street is where Muhammad Ali stayed. 79th Street is where Leak and Sons is. A lot
The
of
Regal.
history. The Regal, owned by a white man, but we'll talk about that at another time. Get ready for the Obama Library, but we'll
That
talk about
part.
that at another time.
But we can't talk about that another time. I think we need to be paying attention to the universe. There's a reason why it's drawing us there.
Come on. Come
You know
on,
what
brother.
I mean? So, again, me and her met on the 9.
We did.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
just think about it like that, you know?
Yes.
So over the last 10
true.
years, a lot of my life has been circulated around the 9.
That's true.
And I ain't never lived on the 9.
That's true.
You know, or nowhere near the 9.
Wow. Say word.
Shout out to Josephine's, Captain Hard Times for being a institution in that community for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Y'all are getting a treat tonight. Y'all are getting a treat tonight. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it.
Black Ice is back home, and he's here in the studio,
Right,
hanging
he
out with us on I
America,
Said What
but
I
he's in
Said.
Chicago. That's crazy.
Right.
Hey, listen, and this might be I think this is the second show I've done since the blip. You know,
So they getting that raw uncut.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck.
So you don't know what they getting. We gonna find the fuck out. Show up at the Woodline tonight at 7:30. We gonna see.
Let's just try to make it work. Yeah.
We gonna find out together what's gonna happen here, man. That is
We're gonna have fun.
super dope. Yo, to do this on Malcolm's birthday, what does that piece mean to get it done on Malcolm's birthday, and what did Malcolm? What does he meant to you just in general?
Oh man, so my pop growing up, and it's actually that was my introduction to poetry on record. Actually was with my pop growing up around 12, 13 years old. I moved with him on some Boys in the Hood shit, really.
Yeah.
And on Sundays, was our cleaning day.
Okay.
That was the big cleaning day. So I knew on Sunday mornings that it was time for me to wake up because he always played Love Supreme first. And I knew if I wasn't up out of the bed and moving around by the time that bass line hit.
Right. There was going to be some problems.
There's going to be some furniture
I was
moving.
going to hear, hey, my man.
Hey, my man. That sounds like me talking about
Hey, that's you say it all the time.
Hey, my man.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely knew, like, all right, if he said, hey, yo, Mar, I was cool. It was he just trying to tell me something.
Right.
If he said, yo, dude, I didn't do the dishes.
We on our way.
Like right, but if you say, hey, my man, it's like, shit.
I'm fucking up now.
What did I do? You know? So on Sunday, he would play all of this standard jazz, and then he would allow me to play, like, I would get in there with him, and I would play, like, Public Enemy. At the time, it was like Public Enemy and the Ice-T Ron Page record, because he just kind of, for some reason, he dug that, because it was like Donald Goins on record.
Yeah.
But then in between these jazz standards, he would play the Grassroots Speech by Malcolm X. He would play The Last Poets, Gil Scott-Heron. He would play Oscar Brown Jr. But he always mixed in the vinyl that he had of these great speeches. And so that's what ballads, the ballads.
Ballad of the Bullet.
Ballads Over Bullets. I think that
The
was
Ballad of the Bullet.
The Ballad of the Bullet. That was, like, I still hear it in my head, today.
It's still relevant today. It's probably more relevant today.
Absolutely. So then, so it's that impactful to me. His birthday, his presence, because my father, who was actually quite revolutionary, quite rebellious, and on the politically philosophical side. So to have that impressed in me, as a kid, as a young man by my father, that's what X means to me. It was constant teaching, it was constant learning from my dad, and my dad making me understand what exactly he was saying, but also it allowed me to understand the game. And the game that was, so I was never out, my dad never kept me from the streets. He just laid the game out for me, like, here it is, make your choice. And he, a lot of times he used those speeches, those songs by the Last Poets, Oscar Brown Jr., Gil Scott-Heron, to help define it for me.
Nah, super, super dope. I got the same question for you.
What's up?
Brother Malcolm. Yeah.
My father came into being into Islam under Malcolm X. That's what brought him into Islam. And then when Malcolm X came and got Muhammad Ali, you couldn't tell niggas nothing back then. My daddy told me that. He was like, we felt like superheroes. What he did for just
the champ is here.
Man, you went and got Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Cassius Clay is
right.
who?
Right.
So that's my thing when it comes to Malcolm X. And I understand, that documentary that came out on Netflix about him, about how even they burned his house down and he still went and spoke the next day because that was his purpose and his mission was his people, and he loved God. That's another reason why the Sandwich Ministry is called a ministry, because it ain't about we don't go live. You know what I'm saying? We don't do it for that.
Right. We don't do it for the ground.
Yeah, we do it because we love God and we want to serve. So same thing with Malcolm X.
Yeah, and he was quite a beautiful example of watching a man evolve. Right. To watch
from red.
From red.
Right.
To El Haj,
right.
Malik Shabazz.
Right.
It's like
right.
To watch him evolve in front of you and be accountable for the things the missteps that he had took, or the things that he had thought that were were smaller than his scope of vision at the time. So we rarely watch men, especially black men, be accountable.
Yeah.
We watch them get in trouble.
Oh. That's primetime television right there.
Right. We watch them get in trouble, but they rarely show us, and it exists. I know so many dope ass black men, but we just don't get the spotlight. You know, the dumb niggas get the spotlight.
Always.
You know, so
Always.
to watch him never ever you know, give in to the get along, go along thing.
Never waver.
And constantly evolve. Was I think it's one of the most beautiful examples that we had. You know, as I'm 49.
Yeah.
So coming up to watch that, you know what I'm saying, to hear my father talk about that, and then to learn that through him, and then watch my dad and my uncles, my grandfather, they all kind of mimic that that philosophy of just accountability. You know, so to have someone at that stature, and then do it through spirituality as well, because that's a hell of a thing to be this way religiously, and then say, hey, I was wrong. That's some godly shit right there.
It is. That evolution, that process, and the accountability piece, right? To understand, okay, maybe I had this a little wrong, right? And then once I got it right, let me stand in that polarity completely, give my full self to this, and then let me try to give it to my people too. You know what I mean?
And maybe it's not even wrong though. Maybe it's a pendulum. Maybe it swings on both sides. You know what I mean? And I think we got to start giving some credence to that. It swings on both sides, even from the
like we
Detroit Red to El Haj Malik Shabazz. M just said, you know, when the schools close down, you can't get lunch. You know, in our city specifically, you got I'm from 64th, not from 65th. Right? That's a block away from each other, and they represent a certain element. Right? But given time, to me, those look like leaders. You know what I mean? Given time to mature and grow into the full sense of self. But because we kind of brandish a moniker on the people as soon as they make any kind of behavioral statement, this is who this person becomes, you know, it just works. You kind of condition your mind to think that this is all I'm capable of. And it's not. You know, when we were just talking a minute ago before you all got in here, and there was a podcast I tuned into on NPR the other day, and the podcast is called something about power, how to get power, something like that. I don't know. But the guest was Obama, right? And the conversation was based around redefining masculinity. And I thought it was interesting that they had chose Obama to be the reference point for defining masculinity. And just hearing some of that conversation, I said when we started the show today that Malcolm was the definitive of what black masculinity is to me.
Indeed.
I concur.
You know, I can
finger waves.
I can respect I can respect Obama, but it doesn't necessarily align in the same way. You know what I mean? But I think that we're being, and this show is centered around black masculinity specifically. You know what I mean? I think that's a message that doesn't, like you said, we don't get to see this in real time. So we're giving it to you raw and uncut.
And it's getting hushed even more.
Even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're trying to give it to you raw and uncut. And I think, you know, just listening to your story, man, I had a very similar experience. Had that same kind of daddy, had them same kind of uncles. And they was playing both sides of the spectrum.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Same here,
my father was a professional, but I could open my freezer any day and it'd be 8 to 10 pounds of reefer in the refrigerator.
Absolutely.
We gonna get it however we gotta get it. You know what I mean? It just was part of the game. My uncles was doing shit on the other side of it.
You know, because back then our pops you had a job and you had a hustle. This was
black life.
Right. This is black life. You had a job and you had a hustle. You know. So
it is what it is. Like when you frozen out of opportunity, you create them wherever they exist.
Absolutely.
But I think that's a story that needs to get told. You know what I mean? Because I think so often today there becomes these kind of very stringent lines of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, or what's valuable and what's not valuable, or you can only be this,
or what's black and good black and bad black.
Right, you cannot be this or this. You know what I mean? And I think there's room for all of it. It's the spectrum.
Because it's just, and you have to run it.
You have to.
You know, you have to experience certain things just in order to evolve. You know, like how do you evolve if you don't experience that? You know, if you don't experience that thing. You know, always I tell, you know, we talk about relationships, you know, like when people like everybody's, you know, nowadays everybody's looking for that fairy tale, right? When that ain't
it ain't real, man.
That ain't real. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get to that higher height shit if you don't know what the low is?
And we got to be able to leverage it, right? We were talking about this on Monday, how all these other cultures and groups have been able to leverage their street side, right, to impact or grow their business or political side, right? They've all been able to leverage it in that way. But when it comes to us, it's just street thugs and niggas and this, and it's like, yo, fam, how the fuck you think the Irish people started to run this goddamn city, right? From the streets first.
Right.
And then they use their street power to get into City Hall and get into CPD and all that. Like,
most said it. Yasin said it. There's never no in-betweens. We either niggas or kings. We either bitches or queens. The daily ritual seems submersed in the perverse.
To that point, man, I was having this conversation with my son yesterday. Part of the conditioning forces us to overvalue the destination and undervalue the journey. And the journey is really where the value is found.
Say it again, brother.
You know what I
Say
mean?
it again.
It's not the destination that provides the value, it's the journey.
Absolutely.
And we are confused about that as a society, as a cultural group. So it's like, as long as I reach XYZ endpoint, the hell with how I got there.
Yo, I swear I was
But how I got there is the most important part of this conversation.
I was just saying that same shit to my son 3-4 days ago. He's
Last night
23,
was a conversation
and
we had,
we
man.
had this because he's a brilliant mind, but I said, yo, we were looking at like he's in the marketing. It was like the Ciroc, the gifts that Diddy has been sending out to all of the stars during the holidays, whatever. And he was
them
like,
Ciroc boxes was cold. I ain't gonna front.
They
was cold. The one he
shit,
sent to
you know
the
what
one
I'm
to somebody, I was like,
saying?
yo, I ain't even say it.
The way he sent them was cold.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
the
saying?
presentation, the delivery was
it
fire.
Crazy, but
it was raw.
So and I was telling him like, listen, everybody thinks that Diddy is or any of these guys that achieve these great things, that it's the thing that brings them the most satisfaction. And I said same thing you're saying. I don't think it's the thing. It was the destiny of it, the path of
the process,
the enthusiasm of getting to it. You know, it's not it was really about the money. You know, oh man, he caking off. It's like, yeah, but the money is just a byproduct.
Yeah, it's a byproduct
of
the fact that I've gone through all this to get to this point.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I'm a black man that owns a major.
Yeah.
I built this all out my brain.
I built this. I pulled it out my ass.
Right.
During this long ass journey of ups and downs and losses and gains,
brick by
and
brick.
wins and man, you know, and but young folk get they get the thing pushed in their face so much, you know, without the work being shown or the enthusiasm for the work.
Yeah. We talk about this all the time. This social media thing is gotten to a space now to where we was like, man, when we was shorties, we just wanted a car, right? A car. Now you might have a desire for this thing or that thing, a box Chevy, whatever the fuck it was growing up in the city, but now shorties want a Lambo.
Right.
Like first car, I want a Lambo. Like that's not, hey, that's not a real thing. Like you don't be 16 and get a Lambo, but that's what they own, and that's what they in full pursuit of. And it's like anything other than that, I'm not valuable. And it's like, man,
you could be 16 and get a Lambo if you know how to crack cards.
Okay, okay. And it's a thing, right? And even that they turn into an industry, right? Anything we touch, we're gonna turn into an industry. And so they start cracking cars. Okay, now we get the Lambo, and now we rent them out to people for a weekend. And it's like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's like that aspirational thing. It does not take any account for the process.
Because it's just a thing.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can rent all that, you know.
Yeah.
You can rent all that shit in any major city now.
Yeah.
Whoever you want to be on a Friday night,
That's who you could be.
the paper, you could be that.
Hey,
and with all these PPP loans and PUA loans, cats is, you know, like I was just telling him in the airport, and I love to see black people travel. I really do.
Damon Williams got a joke out there. I think you about to go towards. Go ahead.
You know,
that's real because most of us never travel more than 8 miles away from my house.
I love to see black. I'm usually the most interesting nigga in the room because it's like
I've been somewhere.
Oh, what are you? And whenever I'm on a plane,
Sure.
Especially if it's an international flight,
Sure.
How are you doing? What are you?
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Who do you play for?
Right.
They'll actually assume. What are you? So are you a musician?
Right.
No,
Right.
I'm not. Oh, okay. So military? Like, no, I'm a writer.
Fucking black man.
You right?
Ask these white people where they going. Like, what the fuck?
But now it's like when you see in the airport now, it's sad because we got this little bit of money that they done threw at you.
Right.
And
a crumb.
You run into LA, you run into Miami to buy some shit.
To give them their shit right back?
To get that shit right back to them.
And leave you in debt?
You know, it's like you glad they're going somewhere, but
yeah, I mean, if you're going to take their bread and flip it,
right?
I ain't mad at you. But if you're going to take it and give it right back to them, and then you left with this motherfucker, like you motherfuckers tweaking.
Or the the psychological part about you really think that pair of $700 sneakers
makes you valuable.
Where's that hole at inside of you that you're trying to fill with
all these fucking things?
Right.
You know, and I was out LA back in November. I've never seen so many niggas. And when I say talking about when I say
heard
niggas,
you. I know what you mean. I follow.
Not black folk. Niggas just lining up outside these stores to give up that money.
The little bit you got.
I love niggas. Let me put that on the line.
Oh, I love niggas too.
I love niggas.
Absolutely.
And I
It's a
often
balance.
struggle with black folk. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I feel you on that piece.
I feel you.
You know, I
think
understand where you're going.
I think it's the pendulum.
It is the pendulum.
It's the pendulum.
And
because you're right.
I think black folks is winning.
Some of these niggas pendulum
think
never swings to the black folks side. It just
but I think niggas
just
is
keep
the moral
bouncing back to the
standard.
nigga shit.
I think black folks is winning on that pendulum swing, but I think niggas is the moral standard, right? And I think because oftentimes niggas have not been able to access white life or access proximity to white life.
Of course.
Right? I make this argument in here often. I said there's not very many black people in America. There's just a bunch of dark-skinned white people. And we've been socialized in this white paradigm.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And there's no sign of sanity to fully assimilate into an insane society. Oftentimes, niggas have been left on the fringes of that insanity.
Real spill.
And then the most authentic people on the soil.
True.
I rock with that. And I think black folks kind of play the game in a way. I think the young boys who's on 64th and 65th are chasing black people, not niggas. I.e., they'll kill each other to chase black people values.
To get to that.
To get to that.
To get to that place of accomplishment.
Of
what they, you know.
Whether you got it in your address or your $700 shoes, it's the same value.
It's like
things make me.
Like niggas are killing niggas trying to get to Bill Cosby.
Same
Or trying to
deal.
get, not Bill Cosby, but trying to get to the Huxtables.
Same deal.
Because it's not Bill Cosby, they're trying to get to
Right.
the Huxtables.
Right.
It's all imagery.
It's all imagery.
Right.
But the value system is warped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The real value is just love, not your address, not your car, or them $700 ass shoes.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
Going back to
God damn it, I'm glad
going
I
back
came to this
to the
motherfucker.
even going to the Miami joint, right? So you here in Chicago, I said Chicago's Mecca. I love this city. Ain't shit in the world better than this. And I've been all over the world, right? But I make this argument all the time. In America, Chicago has the longest coastline in America outside of Miami. Only place that has a longer coastline in Chicago is Miami, right? Anytime in the summer, you can go to any place, and Chicago is a very segregated city. So there's spots where you can know this is where the black people are supposed to be at, right?
63rd, 35th.
From Roosevelt
31st.
South, that's our shit. That's our beach, right? And it's a coastline that streams the whole city. Summertime, that's my beach because there ain't a black person there. But you would fly your monkey ass to Miami to do the same shit you could do in your backyard, but you don't have any value for it in your own backyard because somebody else told you Miami is more valuable. You could have did this shit for $3.99.
Right. Right.
It's a warped sense of
but
value.
you don't want to look at Lil Lord. You know, Lil Lord be at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Rainbow Beach be Lil Lord. You know, it be not
So
some
you
nice sights
you wasn't
in
gonna look at Lil
Miami, you know?
Juarez because it's the same shit.
Hey man, Lil Juarez ain't got the rakes tattooed on his throat. You know what I'm saying? He looks warm and inviting. I want to go get a margarita.
Hey, did y'all hear KG shout out the Vice Lords in his Hall of Fame speech?
Traveling Vice Lords.
Hey man, he said first of all,
KG appreciates
first of all, KG said the travelers.
The
Yes,
travelers.
together.
Shout out to all the travelers and Bebe.
Bebe and them.
Right.
So I you know, no disrespect to the Vice Lords, he was very specific.
Oh yeah, he wasn't talking about the unknowns. It's none of them.
So
the travelers.
So the travelers are. I'm not from here.
It's a bunch of different Vice Lords.
Okay.
It's
You
a
got-
gang, man.
Yes, the Vice Lords is the gang, and then but you got.
Oh, but I'm a neutron. I eat last. I'm a neutron.
But nah, like I think that there is real value in being able to see both, right? So, take you and Billy for example, right? Right, y'all got all the trinkets and all the right shit, right? The house, the cars, and that kind of y'all got the right shit, right? But you walk in that motherfucker, it's black shit happening. Okay, it's black as hell in there. You know what I'm saying? Spade. Oh, I don't think I've ever been to your house without playing spades. You know what I'm saying? We frying fish, we playing spades. It's black as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you the pendulum, you got to be able to find that balance to where it's like, yo. And I think that for for a litany of reasons. Many of us don't find that balance, right? And I think that it kind of inhibits our progress in many ways. But I think it works the same way in reverse, right? Some of us, either early in life or at some point find that version of success that we're looking for, and then we never swing back to the other side. And it's like that ain't healthy for us neither. You know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
like you gotta be able to find that. We talking about the balance earlier in music and shit like that. You got to be able to find that kind of balance. That part matters. That part really matters.
I think Philly is very synonymous with the Chi when it comes to that kind of energy. I was at Black Thought's house the other night.
Okay.
And we were saying we were saying the same thing. Like, he lives across from New York, and like he in a to-do
for sure.
area now.
For sure.
But we was both saying that, every now and then, like every
gotta
time,
touch
not
the
even
soil.
You just got to get on the soil.
Yeah,
Shout out to the
every now and
bigs.
then, like consistently, periodically, we must return.
You got to.
Back to the 21 pound just to make sure we still
right, because otherwise you will get lost in that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That'll become a reality that's just not the reality for the majority of us. And then once that becomes the truth, then we look at the rest of us who are stuck in that place and like, you niggas is fucking up.
Indeed. That's why we on 79th Street. That's why we are on 79th Street.
Tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, doors open at 7:30 at the Woodline, raising money for the Sandwich Ministry. The Sandwich Ministry hands out free lunches to children on 79th Street, completely free of charge, no questions asked. Pull up, eat. Walk up, eat. Simple as that.
Y'all got a cash app or taking donations?
The
or
cash
anything?
app is Emerald Green, $MRELD Green. The cash app is $MRELD Green. If you have Zelle, it's the Sandwich Ministry at gmail.com. The Sandwich Ministry.
You said $MRELD Green. Your name.
MRELD Green on Cash App. And then Zelle is the Sandwich Ministry at gmail.com.
So my son got AAU tonight, so I know I ain't gonna make it. So I want to make a donation, but
I love
we
you,
can't
so.
we can't let y'all get up out of here without doing something.
Yeah, y'all gotta bless these. Y'all gotta bless these mics, man.
Look at these.
I'm super shitty. I can't make it either. I'll be here all night. I got three shows going on here tonight that I gotta be here for, so I can't make it either. So
you on tonight here?
I'm not on. There are
this
three.
Right here is enough for me though, brother. This
I'm
brother.
I'm not on tonight. I just gotta oversee some shit going on here on Wednesday nights. But I'm shitty at myself. I might figure out a way. But anyhow, I would be there otherwise. But that's so fucking dope. Black Ice is in the city on the 9.
On the 9.
Y'all don't miss it, man. Don't.
When we leave here, I'm gonna hit a couple blocks to show him some real nigga shit, and then we gonna take it on in.
Just go to the 9. You'll see some real It's there.
Red Storm hit me right up like, hey, Joe.
With his Cubs hat all the way broke
Joe.
off.
Why ain't you telling me you was gonna be in my city, man? I got the call, because the hood gonna fly me in, you know what I'm saying? I got the call, oh, Joe, you right there on the 9.
Shout out to Red Storm, man.
I love Red Storm
Oh,
too,
my God. You talking about the genuine article.
He the genuine article.
He is the genuine article.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell them niggas come through and smoke with owls.
That's Storm for sure.
Tonight, please come see Black Ice feature. You are in for a treat. Junior's Paul Quartet, you are in for a treat. Eros, Geronimo, Goddess Warrior, the Poet, you are in for a treat. This is the creme de la creme of spoken word, and we got the legend in the building, so please make sure that y'all come. It is going to be standing room only because of COVID, you know what I mean? Make sure you get you a seat. Come early if you want you a seat. Cash at me, put Malcolm X tickets in the thing, so I know it's for the tickets. I don't want you to think you trying to buy some weed or something. So,
She's so
this
stupid,
is
God, man.
easy though. Easy. Cause it's hot chips and cheese and beef on these Chi City streets. They are playing for keeps. They got handcuffs and white sheets. Cause it's hot chips and cheese and beef on these Chi City streets. They are playing for keeps. They got handcuffs and white sheets, cause it's hot chips and cheese and beef on these Chi City streets. They are it's hot chips, cheese, and beef on these Chi City streets. They playing for keeps. They got handcuffs for some, for others white sheets. Youngest putting hot chips in hot clips, my nigga. They got hollow tips. They got tips that you got that cheese. You better bring that beef. It's cool. They want to eat. They starving. The neighborhood is emaciated, a shell. It's plenty of gas, even though it might not be any on in your house. Oh, it's plenty of green, but no green vegetables in these babies' mouths. There's no grocery stores for miles. But we still eat, my nigga, hot chips, cheese, and beef. She like hers with jalapenos. She likes to get it popping. A fifth in the 3-5, my nigga, you and 3 of the guys can hit her. Get her drunk, get her high, and she'll pull her panties down lower than her self-esteem. But she's only 14. But here's the thing. One time when she was about 9, her mama boyfriend took her to the stove for some hot chips and cheese, but the nigga came with his own beef. Scared her to secrecy. Her mama felt the frequency. Her mama knew exactly what was going on, but if he leave, them hot chips she get to play at the casino would be gone, and she'd be alone, and she wasn't having that, so she packed and sent her little daughter back to live with her granny, Miss Annie. She was so sweet, but she couldn't keep up. Them little praying hands couldn't keep her granddaughter under control. A year later, Shorty was on the stroll, doing it for cheese, the smoke in the glass pipe, doing it for somewhere to lay her head at night. Fast forward, follow me. Fast forward, upgrade to dope fiend. No more crack whore. Now she beg outside the same damn store where they sell hot chips, cheese, and beef. She gets served by the son of the dude who would come with them tools if he heard that you was slacking or pimping. But when the judge called him, the judge gave him 50. But when the judge called him, the judge gave him 50. Now he back on the same block with the same blows, shaking it up with the same moles, my nigga. The irony of it all. A grown man on the block talking about, I can't wait till my daddy come home. When she interrupt them, excuse me, y'all. I ain't trying to bother y'all. I just really trying to get me something to eat. When they said, nah, honey, you know we ain't gonna give you no money, but come on in the stove. We'll get you some hot chips, some cheese, and some beef. Because it's hot chips and cheese and beef on these Shot City streets. They are playing for keeps. They got handcuffs and white sheets. Because it's hot chips and cheese and beef on these Shot City streets. They are playing for keeps. They got handcuffs and white sheets. Tonight, nigga.
That is emerald green.
Like
emerald green, like a block off Halsted. If you from the go and you don't get that reference, move. Okay? That's heat. Okay.
Without any further ado, Tony Award winning, Peabody Award winning, Philadelphia's own. You see him on tour with Mary J. Blige, Mos Def. You see him on everything that you could possibly imagine. Broadway. Look here, you seen this nigga on the CNN scroll. You know, you just seen this nigga everywhere. This is my homie right here coming to the line tonight for 79th Street, the Sandwich Ministry. Y'all put your hands together for the legendary, the one and only Black Ice. Hey.
So what happens in neighborhoods where the self-esteem has been overshadowed by the decay and the children no longer play the way they used to? Where young boys choose to follow figures that had no father figures, a place where lives have been reduced to mere names on a nigga wall, a lot of dead shames on a nigga wall, because most of my childhood friends died over some dumb shit. It's like we all on some slum shit. Whatever happened to that, we shall overcome shit. Where I'm from, shit. They done took away boys' clubs and neighborhood sports. It's a place where little boys put on jerseys and shorts, dream big about stardom on fine hardwood courts, but awake to the harsh reality of the stripped, unfinished inner city floor where life splinters. Cold winters are sheltered by crack houses instead of recreational centers that they claim to not have the paper to keep open for operation. The deconstruction of the black family has been in perpetuation ever since Willie Lynch set his theory in motion. Decharacterization was his sole promotion. Therefore, if you take the basketball out of his face and put the coke in its place, he'll still score. What's a young boy to do? He doesn't want to do wrong, but there's a lock on the right door when he has the heart of a soldier, the aggression of a prize fighter, but no one's taught him what to fight for. See, most of our families are fatherless and quite poor, but we miss out on meals as well as kisses and hugs. So if you got the audacity to cut the funding for the facilities that keep us off the streets, then ask us why we sell drugs. But imagine if niggas put down their dice and guns, picked up their daughters and sons and put a little love right there where the hate is. Imagine if we had the chance to become accountants before being taught what the difference between wet and dry weight is. Imagine if these little inner city kids had the same type of schools that these rich kids have way out there in the sticks. Imagine if we had the chance to learn chemistry for real before we learned how to whip 7.5 out of 6. Imagine if that little black girl could go to that dance school for free and learn to love the dream of that Broadway show. Imagine if she wasn't forced into a game where you assume a filthy name and put your soul and your ass up for show. Imagine if she was taught to love herself. Imagine if she was taught to love herself, demonstrate respect in order.
Take your time,
Imagine
man.
if we.
We got all night. We got all night.
Imagine if we put down our dice and guns, picked up our daughters and sons, and put a little love right there where the hate is. Imagine if we had the chance to become accountants before being taught what the difference between wet and dry weight is. Imagine if these little inner city kids had the same type of schools that these rich kids have way out there in the sticks. Imagine if we had the chance to learn chemistry for real before we learned how to whip 7.5 out of 6. Imagine if that little black girl could go to that dance school for free and learn to love the dream of that Broadway show. Imagine if she wasn't forced into a game where you assume a filthy name and put your soul and your ass up for show. Imagine if she was taught to love herself, demonstrate respect when she gets older. Imagine if she watched herself during the primetime hour instead of 4 o'clock video whore. Imagine.
Shit is dope, son.
Imagine.
Y'all better be on the 9 tonight.
Tell us out.
Imagine Emerald Green and Black Ice performing on the 9 and your black ass don't go. Imagine that.
You understand me?
Imagine that.
They don't want it.
Imagine not tuning in to I Said What I Said. Because it's fucking heat.
This is what we do.
It's just fucking the heat,
We
man.
are Chicago, man.
I hit up her like, hey, I got somebody.
Yeah. Let's roll. Like what? Say less. Say less.
I love y'all.
Love y'all.
This is I was not expecting. You know how. Listen.
Yeah.
I done did
I know you done everything.
We
different.
nigga.
Yeah.
You get on a podcast, you be like, oh.
Why the fuck am I here?
Nigga like, so you met Russell.
Right.
How was that? How'd you feel? Yeah. He was like, what the fuck?
Feel like shaking a nigga's hand. That's what it
So this was quite refreshing.
Namaste.
And
now this is home, man. You know what I'm saying? You sit down with us. We just talking like we at the crib, man.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Absolutely.
My brother.
Tonight, yo.
Tonight at the Woodline. It is at 1200 East 79th Street. Doors open at 7:30. Showtime at 8 o'clock. All proceeds will go to benefit the Sandwich Ministry. The Sandwich Ministry gives out free lunches to kids on 79th Street. No questions asked. Come up and eat for the kids. Support. If you cannot make it.
East, that's at like Dobson?
It's Woodline.
Oh, it's Woodline.
79th and Woodline. There will be an after party from 10 to midnight at the Bobo Emporium on 90th and Cottage Grove.
Oh yeah? You gonna be out there?
Y'all in the
After
hood all night. Y'all really finna be in the
The
hood.
after party is sponsored by Strange Fruit Premium.
Okay, I'm pulling up. So I'm here till 10. I usually be here till about 10:30. I'm gonna pull up to the Emporium for sure.
I'm pulling the game. I'm gonna meet up with you.
Love y'all.
All right, bet. Love y'all too, man. Thanks so much for stopping through.
Appreciate
Y'all enjoy
y'all.
the rest of y'all day. We're gonna wrap up this show. All love.
Peace.
Always love
Why I keep
y'all,
getting caught in these chords? I damn near died a second ago. Love you too, sis. Be good. Of course. Like a block off hosted. It's my G right there. That's family for sure. Hope y'all enjoyed that. We certainly did. That was fire. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. We certainly did. We got to get up out of here.
Chop that up and get some commercials out. That shit.
Oh,
that shit was hard.
Super hard. Hope y'all enjoyed it. We certainly enjoy having the conversation with the brother and the sister, and then the treats that we got at the end. That's just come on, man. Hot chips and cheese and beef, and Imagine. Okay, that's heat. We gotta go.
We always get him to do hot chips, cheese, and beef, but
M got so much heat.
She got so much.
M has so much.
The
heat.
one you mentioned, but she didn't want to do it. That's one of my favorites too. But she got a lot more stuff. We got to get her to dig it up. Bad
She has one. I don't know if that's the title of this poem though, so I don't know if you can like YouTube search it. But the concept of this piece that I was going to get to do when we was talking about Ice out there fucking was this one is called. I am fucking you.
That's what it's called.
You are not fucking me.
You're not fucking me. I'm fucking you.
Yeah,
that's the name of
it.
Yeah,
it's a woman's perspective on sex. Like, I am fucking you. You are not fucking me. Look that up. That one is super heat. Or look up Emerald Green about anything.
Look up
all
Emerald
her
Green,
shit
like
is
a block
super-
off house.
Yeah, go on YouTube, watch all that shit. Anyhow, we got to bounce, man. Y'all make sure y'all hang out right here on the network tonight, starting at 6 p.m. with Chris the Critic. Then In the Zone with Brian Foster, B. False. My God, B. False. That party, fam. And then we call Wednesday. Reach the Ruler. Toy. Hang out here on the network tonight, starting at 6 p.m. Listen, for real, y'all. If you got any opportunity to get to 1200 East 79th Street tonight,
you should.
You definitely should go. you should go. Doors open at 7:30. Showtime's at 8 o'clock.
Tommy Buns, you should be there, man. That's gonna be your kind of joint.
Tommy Buns. I don't know what he listening to in there, but it ain't us.
Yeah, he's in there cake and calling T-Tay.
Right, Tay. Mama-in-law. That's what he's trying to get to. But anyhow,
ain't listening to us.
he definitely ain't listening because he'd be laughing right now or angry. Either way, we got to bounce. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this Wednesday edition of I Said What I Said. We will be back here on Friday, same time, same place. Y'all get up early tomorrow, starting with the Major Jackson Show. Stick around for the rest of the programming here on the network. For Ron Rilla, Toussaint Werner, our very, very special guest, Emerald Green and Black Ice. My name is Herb Howard. We'll see y'all on Friday. Till then, y'all be good to each other.
Salam alaikum.
WIIFTBP.